it's Nikki Howard here at Enchanted Creations. So if you haven't already watched, I've already done 2 videos on creating this bottle from a normal glass bottle to putting texture on it, and then in the last video I showed how to paint the layers and how to put the paint on. And in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use alcohol inks that really, to me, it just transforms the whole process. Yeah, and this kind of started because I paint bottles. This is one that's already finished, and people have asked me how I paint them, so I've started doing videos of them. So you can see the different textures here, how that is. So I'll be showing you the transformation process of this bottle. So I've already covered it in tissue paper and in like cotton bags that I get my fruit and veg in. And then I've put some layers of paint on it, dried it. It's still slightly tacky, but that's okay. So alcohol inks were a huge discovery for me, and they kind of transformed my artwork. I got these off Amazon. I think they're about €17 for 24. And they're often sold for working with epoxy resin. So here they are here. These are my new ones that I haven't opened yet, so there's no paint on them, and these are ones that I am now finishing up, my older ones. So alcohol ink, as it said, it's a colour, it's an ink with alcohol in it, so they do have a smell to them, but I don't actually find that, you know, a problem at all. And what I love is that the colours are just so vivid, and I just tend to allow the colours to run on the bottle. You will see how I do it. And it just creates such an incredible colour. And where you've got the relief of the paint, the alcohol inks actually get obviously under that. And you can see how they really get into the texture. And the colours are just, they've kind of blown my mind, and it's very addictive using them. So I'm going to show you how I do this. I just basically take an ink, just got to make sure I've got the video in the right, yeah. And then I just allow the ink to run down on the bottle. And just help it through. And what I love is that there's no hard lines, I'm just blurring the lines. Be careful with these inks, because if they tip over they can leak. I've had them where they're tipped over with the lid on, and take the lid off and it runs everywhere. So it's also why I've kept them upright rather than laying down in the box they came in, because it just creates a complete mess. So it's very random, once again, that there's no thought in this about the colours, or it's just going with feeling. And blending the colours together, and you see how it's such a different, obviously a different effect to the paint. And it's also just allowing that colour just to go where it wants to go, and then blending it in with a dry brush. And alcohol, obviously it has alcohol in it, so it evaporates very quickly. So the colour's dry, the alcohol evaporates and leaving the paint dry. So you have to work quickly with it before the paint dries. Some of these are actually really slow at coming out. So it's random and it's not random. Yes, it is random to not really think about it, but I'm also looking at different areas of the bottle where it either needs colour or there's too many hard lines and I want to just blend between the colours. And there's some colours that there is a pink, but I think I've actually run out of it. But some of the lighter colours will change the darker ones, and that's what's really lovely as well. You can see how the yellow has just taken out that blue a bit. And there is where it's a bit dark. I tend to just run over a lighter colour just to break it up. You see what I said in my last video about that some of the paint obviously you won't see, and it doesn't matter about the colour of the paper you're using for the texture because you won't be seeing it. Obviously don't worry too much about a piece of paper that's sticking up because that will all be neatened up as the bottle continues. You can see how the ink is just creating this base, and I should be putting paint on top of it again. This isn't the final layer. So there we go, that's with coloured inks. I should be sticking that down later on with some more glue. And then what I will do in the next video is show you how I then paint again on top of this and the effect that that creates. But alcohol inks, as you can see, the colours are so vivid. And you can really play around with them. Yeah, I don't have the... There's a really nice pale pink colour that just makes the colours stand out. And I think I've actually run out of it. I've used so much of it. Let's see if I can get a little drop. Yeah. So there we go. So I'd look forward to seeing you on the next video. You can find my creations on Facebook in Enchanted Creations France. I'm also on Instagram as Enchanted Creations, And you can also find my creations on Etsy and also on my website, which is nikkihoward.com. See you on the next video.